They're not going to high school, they're going to Dennis.
Dennis, she thinks they might go to Dennis.
Mary York's 911 call more than a year ago.
He says he has all the guns. He has like 5 or 6 guns. And he knows how to shoot a gun.
Indiana State Police say played a significant role in preventing her son Brandon from carrying out a Richmond, Indiana mass school shooting. But the pain from that day and Brandon dying by suicide inside Dennis Intermediate still lingers for those in the community like Kenny Bantam.
It affected a whole bunch of people.
While Indiana State Police say York's information was critical that day.
Pop this device open. Drop it in, and that secures the door from any intruder coming in.
Information uncovered by the I-Team shows districts like Kettering continuing to invest in devices like this door jamb. That district among those stepping up what they call security investments compared to decades ago.
We wanted as much accessibility as we could because we were proud of what we were doing.
It's almost hard to imagine that now.
It is. It is absolutely hard to imagine that now you keep access limited as much as possible to make sure that only the people who belong in the building are in the building.
It's been some time since school buildings have had unlocked side doors during the day, but in recent years, many districts have tightened security at the front entrances as well. Just to be able to get in the front door, you have to be buzzed in.
Hi, can I help you?
And that's far from the only thing. Once inside the building, too, chances are you're on camera. So many districts like Kettering have put in place new high-tech camera systems. The I-Team found systems like this are practically standard now across the region.
But it is a reality, and we have to do whatever it is to keep people safe and secure.
But this report the I-Team reviewed says protecting students takes even more. The recent Secret Service study looked at 41 school shootings from 2008 through 2017. In 80% of them, the schools already had some sort of physical security measure. Nearly half had a resource officer on duty at the time, and more than 2/3 of those schools did lockdown drills. But look at what the report tells us about the young people who carried out the attacks. 80% were bullied, 71% used guns in the past, and 100% of them showed some sort of concerning behavior before the attack. Many of those things we now know about Brandon Clegg. The Secret Service says knowing all of those warning signs, the key is all school personnel should be trained to recognize signs of a student in crisis, recommending teams to assess threats, training to identify students in distress, zero tolerance for bullying, and systems for students to report concerns anonymously. That last part is key. The I-Team asked school districts across the Miami Valley if they're doing those things. Every district we contacted said it had student and staff training to recognize concerning signs. Every district had anonymous bullying and threat reporting. Each had threat assessment teams or something similar. All had cyber monitoring programs, with the exception of Troy schools, and all had school resource officers or private security, with the exception of Oakwood, where officers do routine drop-ins, and the district says response times are just 90 seconds.
That's our number one job.
Kettering school leaders say they're also taking all those steps. It's work that never stops.
So we are constantly looking for areas of need and areas that we can improve our safety and security.
Both of those things on Alicia Huddleston's mind as she sends her son to kindergarten this fall.
But it also gives a sense of security for us parents to leave our kids in a safe environment, a safe building.
Safer buildings, the feds say, now requires not just locking doors and buying expensive technology, but also having teachers and students who know what warning signs to look for. For the I-Team, Sean Cudahy, News Center 7.